So if you want to give it a break a little bit, yeah, sure.
All right. Well, since we're since Mr. Boogie2988, goddamn, hold on, let me get a drink of water. So, um, if you remember, our good friend Boogie2988, I'm just playing, he's not our friend, but Boogie2988, a while ago, we talked about the whole drama going on with him getting arrested for shooting a firearm in a neighborhood because a internet troll showed up to his house. So that we haven't really talked about Boogie since then, but there have been it's been months since we talked about Boogie, but there have been some updates about Mr. Boogie2988 Austin. Would you like to hear him?
I guess I'm fucking scared.
So that whole thing that we talked about before is pretty much done with. Like, it's it's gone to now. But um, so what Boogie is doing now is, well, pretty much like the remainder of last year. Boogie just kept dealing with trolls and haters, and he just kept going down his road of responding to people on Twitter and putting his opinion out on stuff that nobody's asking for, and giving his thoughts on things that nobody cares about, and getting himself just in trouble and having to apologize and apologize. Just, you know, the Boogie way, the titan of mental strength that he is. And so recently there's been some stuff going on with Boogie because he got a new girlfriend, and basically people are saying that Boogie's quote-unquote new girlfriend is a hooker that he's paying to be his girlfriend because Boogie would always like flex and talk about how he has hookers and shit. So people are saying that it's just some girl that Boogie's like paying to take photos of her. But what's going on is, and she's just like a regular normal chick. She's not obese like him or anything. But basically, Boogie is like posted pictures of like her like naked ass on his Twitter, her with like a spread asshole, like just all kinds of like pictures, and then like people were calling him out for it, and Boogie was like, "Oh well, she dared me to post those pictures to my Twitter," and then he deleted them. And so, some people are saying that, like Boogie posted this picture of him laying in the bed with her, like with no clothes on. I haven't seen the picture. Thank God my eyes have not been ruined. But apparently the picture is him laying in the bed with her, and people were saying in the angle, like you can tell that she's not comfortable with being on camera, and it looks like Boogie's. It looks like basically she's laying there, and Boogie. It looks like Boogie just set up a camera and like started like filming them. That's just what it looks like, and it looks like she has no idea what he was doing or that he was doing that. And people are saying that like from some angles it looks like she's like a blow up doll or like one of those like sex doll things. And so there's a whole drama going on with that, and like Boogie, but he has been posting like pictures with the actual girl, and this leads into the other drama that Boogie's in because so basically, you remember the whole thing how he got like the gastric bypass surgery to lose weight to pretty much save his life?
Yeah.
So that was pretty much for no reason. He stuck to his diet for a while, but now Boogie has pretty much gained all the weight back that he lost. And so when you get to a certain level of obesity, like there's a reason why some obese people like get a lot of redness in their face, is because when your face gets that big and is stretched out that much, it starts breaking like the blood vessels and shit, which can be dangerous for you. So that started happening to Boogie because he's so big. And so in all the pictures he was posting with this quote unquote girlfriend, he was looking really red, and people were commenting on his picture saying like, "Hey man, are you all right? Like, you look like you broke some blood vessels, or like you look sick. Like, Boogie, are you all right? Like, I think you should go get yourself checked out. I'm worried about you, Boogie. Like, could be some problem going on with your heart. Like, are you all right, Boogie?" And so what Boogie decides to do, instead of saying that, "Oh, you know, I'm all right," or like, "Oh, it's sunburn," or like anything else in the world that Boogie could say, Boogie decides to delete the picture. Then he decides to repost said picture and the other pictures, and every new picture, photoshopped to have his face turned to a more orangish color rather than red, to try to make it seem like his skin isn't getting red. And so people called him out on it, and they're like, "Boogie, why are you doing that? Like what's up with this? Like, you had redness, now you're doing this." And Boogie's the excuse Boogie had, as I was saying, of anything this man could have said. Like I said, he could have said it was sunburn. He could have said it was his blood vessels. He could have said anything else would have been a better solution than what Boogie said, because Boogie said, "Oh, well, the reason that I look so red in these pictures, and the reason my face is so red, is because it turns out that I'm actually 5% not North American. I'm 5%. What was it? 5% Native American. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Yeah, he said he's 5% Native American. So that's why his skin has redness."
Fuck
that
off.
was Boogie's excuse. Keep in mind, he's never mentioned it before. And Boogie, first of all, I think he lives in Arkansas, which is a really southern state. And
I know, it's
Boogie,
right by Missouri.
I'm pretty sure his city.
You are cutting out bad.
You and all up through the Mountain Dew piles and eat your Doritos while you can you hear me?
Talk a little more.
And Boogie2988s slam their stomachs together as they produce Mountain Dew out of their breast folds. Can you?
Nah. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Austin loves AW. Austin loves AW.
No,
Austin
I don't.
loves AW. There we go. As I was saying before your Missouri internet conked out, so basically that's his excuse for his face being red in his photos. And that's not all. So also, Boogie decided to make a New Year's resolution. Would you like to know what that New Year's resolution is?
What?
So his New Year's resolution was to start ignoring the trolls and stop feeding into them and stop using social media as much. And so what does he do the very next day? Feeds the trolls.
Oh, fucking
Boogie
God.
went right back into it. Right back to shitpost on Twitter. As a matter of fact, let me go to Boogie's Twitter. I haven't checked it in a while. Let me go to Boogie's Twitter and see what he's been up to lately. Because I'm sure this man, from what I understand, he still will comment on things that have nothing to do with him, like how the one time he commented about how, like, the whole Jews and the Holocaust thing, he commented about how it was actually a good thing and good things came from it. Like, that Boogie does that kind of stuff on Twitter, and he gets himself in trouble. So then he'll have to apologize for it, or he'll comment on something for no reason, and people will be like, "Dude, Boogie, like, no one cares what you have to say about this. Like, we don't want to hear you talk about this. We want you to fucking, like, play a game." But Boogie just does it all the time. Let me see. Boogie2988. Let me go to his Twitter. Oh my god, Boogie's Twitter bio, he says Fat Francis from YouTube, Twitch streamer, OG YouTuber, Twitter spammer, and mental health advocate, Austin. Jesus Christ. 10-year challenge. Wow. Okay. He posted about Bob Saget. Let me see. We'll talk about Bob Saget here in a little bit, but oh, here he goes commenting about, for no reason, commenting on this post about some comic having hate speech in his stand-up, and here comes Boogie being a type of titan of mental strength and a mental health advocate, as he puts it. So the person says, so here's Boogie's original tweet. Was gonna make a video about this, but decided to just tweet instead. It is possible for Bob Saget or anyone else to have a disgusting sense of humor and to be a really good person. Telling a joke is different from the thing in the joke. They said you have every right not to support someone because of the jokes they tell. You have every right to believe those jokes make them monsters. You have every right to distance yourself from their work, but that doesn't change the fact that Bob was a saint. I don't know why he decided to bring that up, but then someone replied and said, telling jokes is not the same thing as doing the thing. However, jokes do influence culture and normalize attitudes and behavior. I don't think it's always as simple as, it's just a joke, bro. Boogie then said, I would agree. I would never support a comic that thinly veiled hate speech or justifies abhorrent social attitudes like racism, etc. Sadly, some people are so stupid they can take jokes as permission to be awful. Still believe you can be a good person and tell shock jokes, though.
And this is the guy that said the Holocaust did good.
Oh, this is also the guy, when he says some people are so stupid they can't take jokes as permission to be awful or whatever. He's the same guy that, when people would make jokes about him on his stream or like roast him, he would group them into his group he calls his haters and says that his haters are worse than rapists and Nazis. That's the same guy saying that.
Jesus.
Same guy talking about not supporting somebody that has hate speech does that. So, yeah, and that's the kind of thing Boogie just does on Twitter every day. Like, he just, for no reason, he just comments on just whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why he does it. I don't know why he intentionally gets himself in trouble on Twitter. Like, I don't know why he likes humiliating himself publicly, where he has to like backtrack everything he says because he'll comment on something that has nothing to do with him, and then and this is the thing they're talking about on the official podcast. So Boogie is the type of person where he doesn't, when it comes to some kind of issue, he doesn't like choose a side. He'll just put his opinion out there, and what that does is that pisses people off because he gets no support from that, because you're not supporting the people who are for it and you're not supporting the people who are against it. So then what happens is Boogie puts his fucking terrible opinions out there about stuff that has nothing to do with him, and then what happens is people on both sides of the fence, people who support it and people who don't, they both come at Boogie, and so Boogie has to apologize, and it happens on an almost daily basis. And like, he just, like, they were talking about it on the official podcast, they're like, like, he has to have some kind of fetish for like humiliating himself and like making himself look like a fucking idiot Like otherwise, like I don't get how he could just keep doing this every day. And it's funny how he said for his New Year's resolution to ignore the haters and all that, and to do this and do that, and then he's just still doing all this shit.
Jesus.
Like,
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Well,
also when Boogie was talking about hate speech, he's also the type of guy that that tells shock jokes. And if you're not aware of what shock jokes are, they're where you say absolutely horrible, fucked up shit, but it's a joke. But so Boogie says things like someone called him out here on Twitter. Said you told a graphic story about how you gang raped your ex girlfriend while you were live streaming and you were just memeing. So, and that's not the first time Boogie's done something like that. He's done that many times, and but keep in mind, and to him that's just a joke. Like I have a very dark sense of humor. Austin has a dark sense of humor, but even then, like I wouldn't make a joke saying like what I just said that Boogie said on the stream. Like I wouldn't make a joke like that. Like I don't understand shock jokes, and like Boogie tries to defend it as, oh, people just don't get humor. It's like, no, dude, if you're gonna sit there on a live stream and talk about how you gang raped your ex girlfriend and this and that, like people aren't gonna take that as a joke. And then you like laughing about it just makes you seem like a sick person. So anyway, that's pretty much update on Boogie. He's still doing the same old shit. He's already failed his New Year's resolution. He's gained all the weight back that he lost. He apparently has a new girlfriend now, and apparently he's 5% Native American. So
Jesus.
that's what's going on with Boogie2988 right now. But yeah,